Okay, welcome back. So we are going to do part two of this story today. And okay, this is kind of the crazy part. This is the part where I really had to step into practicing what I preached, right? This was the huge part, this part. So just to recap, last time we talked about how the seed was planted. We had this idea. We didn't know exactly what it looked like, but we kept trying to force our ideals onto the seed and, do that little like peeking under the ground to see if it's doing anything. And it wasn't doing anything. And then we switched to learning that, hey, we need to water ourselves. We need to care for ourselves. We need to step into that place where we are truly in self care. Self care also means doing the shadow work, stepping into the dark parts of ourselves and working through them, right? We all have those dark parts. We all have the parts that we try to like shove down and hide away. That's why they're called the dark parts. But again, if you want this to grow, if you want to manifest this gigantic thing that you are working towards, you have to face everything, right? So our house is for sale. Nothing is moving. Spirit, universe, higher power, God, whatever you want to call, keeps showing us things that we need to deal with. There was financial things that we needed to get in order because I kept hearing from Spirit, I'm not going to give you more if you can't figure your shit out with the little bit that you already have. Okay? So, had to figure that out. We had to do things like create investments. We had to create savings accounts again because from the pandemic, we had been completely wiped out, guys. You have to understand this. The pandemic brought so many of us to like no monies, right? We had no savings left. We had no retirement left. We had nada, nothing, zero, zilch after that. Okay. So here, spirit, universe, God saying to me and my husband, you guys need to figure out your money shit because I'm not going to give you big money if you can't figure out how to do the little money, right? That is a huge thing. Energy in, energy out, right? If you want the big money, you need to show the universe you can handle the little money. This is a big thing. The big lesson we had to learn. Okay? Then we get that and we get that sorted, we get that in order. And then I just kept trying to manipulate and control the outcome. I was like, if I do this, then the universe will bring me that. If I do this, the universe will bring me that. And I was trying to be in charge. Okay, guys, I don't know why it takes so long for me to learn these things, but you cannot manipulate the universe. You just can't. You cannot manipulate your timeline. You cannot. If something's going to happen, it's kind of going to happen. Like, I don't know what else to say. When you're trying to control and like when you're squeezing something to death, it's not a good place to be. Okay? So we had to learn the money lessons and I had to start to release my control around everything. Okay. And it got to the point where I have to tell you about the purple car. So I wrote about this in the blog. If you've already read it, please don't spoil it for anybody else that's listening with you. Um, I was frustrated. I will be honest. The house wasn't selling. You can ask my realtor, Selena. She was probably like pulling her hair out trying to deal with me because I'm like, what's wrong? Why are we not selling? Our mojo is off. Something feels wrong. Do we not believe it's going to sell? Like, right? Take a check for a second. Check in on yourself, Victoria. You're a bonkers. So I was not in a good headspace. I was feeling again like I had to face the fact that how defeated I felt the first time when this didn't happen. And that was a big thing, right? When you are going for your big goals and your big dreams, guess what? It's going to trigger feelings in you that you haven't dealt with. If you really want to get real with it, it's going to, okay? So I was feeling the feels of, feeling like a failure again. It's happening again. I'm failing again. I fucking suck at this shit, right? Like I just was down on myself. And I had to feel into that. Why do I feel that way? What's coming up? What is the root cause of this? Where is this coming from? Again, doing that deep darkness work, right? And the thing is when you go deep and you go kind of dark and you go introspective, you really do focus solely on yourself. You kind of become this self-centered asshole because it's really difficult to be in that space and care for others at the same time or give others what they need from you. It really is a difficult thing to do. So, there I was. Like I feel like that's the space I was in for a good couple years, honestly, doing that. So I'm dealing with these things, you know, every day. We get up in the morning, we write our gratitude journals, we write to spirit, this is what we really want. We want to manifest this. We literally wrote out every single day, this is a life we want. This is what we're grateful for. And the more we did that, the more I started to realize that, and I had this epiphany that I'm actually finding happiness and contentment where we are. I don't feel like I'm running away to a new place. Okay. So that was part of the process. Something that I had really had to dig into for me was, am I just running away? Someone said to me that the only reason why I had this dream was because I just wanted to run away from all my problems instead of face them. And that was really tough for me because in that moment, I was facing some really ginormous fucking problems face first. Like I was radically responsible for my actions face fucking first. And for this person to say that to me, it really hurt. And I spent again, and then here I am circling back and thinking the house isn't selling because I'm just running away. But then the more I sat in gratitude, the more I got up in the morning and really was in gratitude for the life that I currently had, the more I realized, no, okay, I loved my life there. I loved my job. I was really grateful for my clients. I was really grateful and I was really happy where I was. I loved being near the bush. I actually really loved it. And the more I realized that, the more I realized that you can be both in love with your present situation and yearning for something else. You can strive for bigger and better and be okay and in love with where you are right there. So that was a big epiphany that happened to me. And I think that's a really important step, right, guys? Because if all you're doing is looking towards that big dream, that big goal all the time, you're gonna miss the amazing things that are happening right in front of you, right in alignment with where you are in that moment. So finding that balance of I am in love with what is here, I am happy with what is here, but I also have this deep yearning for that next step, for that next part, right? And so that was part of that process that I had to go through, and that is a really important step in the process is the gratitude step, right? Being grateful and being grateful for every roadblock that comes, every detour that comes, being grateful for every step forward that comes, finding ways to appreciate all of these things, right? So here I am. It is now, we're approaching the fall. Our house has been listed since the spring. I am sitting into this trigger of fuck, I'm failing at this again. It's not gonna happen. We're not doing it. It's not gonna happen. We're not doing it. Fuck. This is not happening, right? And but then at the same time being grateful that, my my clients are showing up for me, and while other people are complaining that, they're getting all these no-shows and last minute cancellations, I'm not getting that. So I'm like, okay, I'm grateful that this my life is still continuing and that things are still good. But it sucks because I wanted to leave. I wanted our dream to come true, right? So this is the purple car story. I was on Facebook, and one of my fellow students from our manifestation and mindset coaching certification course posted that she was having this horrendous time. Things were going horribly on her vacation. And she just was like, I'm sick of it. Like, if I just want to go home, and she said to the universe, look, if things are going to get better, show me a purple car. And I thought, as I'm reading this, I'm like, purple car? Where do you see purple cars? I never see purple cars. That is so absurd, right? Lo and behold, she sees a purple car. And then her vacation turns around. It actually gets better than expected for her. And amazing. I'm like, fuck, I need a purple car. So the next morning, I get up, I do my gratitude. I am like writing in my journal. I am writing what it is that I want to bring into my life that day. I want somebody to buy my house. I really want this. Like, I want this. My two oldest kids have moved out. I am telling my youngest about all the amazing things that we're going to do when we get out and into this new place. And I want this so fucking badly, right? Like, I want it. So I say to the universe, look, it worked for Jennifer. It's going to work for me. I want a purple car. We had already set a date. We had set a leaving date because we did this exercise. That's a whole nother. I am going to put all this stuff together for you guys to make it make sense. But like worksheets and stuff, I am working on that. But I had done the exercise, and where you decide, you make the final decision, and you are just decided, you're committed. This is what I am doing. Like, doesn't matter. This is what's happening. This is what we are doing. So we made the decision. We were leaving the country on this date. We were looking for rentals for our new country. We were done in this country. No matter what happened with the house, we were done. We needed out. We were starting this dream because the universe had given us so many signs that was happening, that we were going for it, right? So on this particular day, I am feeling anxiety times a bazillion. And I just remembered the purple car story from Jennifer. So I wrote in my journal, I wrote all the things, and then I sat in meditation, and I said to Spirit, if this fucking house is going to sell before we have to leave, show me a fucking purple car today. And I swore, and I got angry. I did. I swore big time. And I said, and if not, then I want to see in big bold letters, N-O, indicating that no, it's not happening. Just go on with your life anyways. Okay? So I go to work. The whole drive to work, I am like, purple car? No, it's royal blue. Purple car? No, it's royal blue. I've never seen so many royal blue cars on the roads in where we lived until that day. I get to work, no purple car, not anyone in the driveway. Well, fuck. Okay. Go about my day. I'm thinking maybe I'll open Facebook and there'll be a purple car. No purple cars. No cars that are purple anywhere. I go home, I go to the store, I am doing all the things. No purple cars. We don't live in a particularly busy traffic area, so every car that went by, I'd be like, oh, no, not a purple car. That's a white truck. Not even close, right? Like, fuck. So we're having a late dinner. Our house is literally empty, okay? We have nothing left in the house. At this point, it's like we have to go because we don't have anything left. We each have a bed. We don't have furniture. The only place we can sit for dinner is the patio table outside. The patio table and chairs outside. And so we make a late dinner. We're sitting down, we're eating dinner. I haven't said shit to anybody about any of this because I firmly believe that if I ask for a sign, it needs to come to me and I need to be the one to see it, right? So I am not saying anything to anybody. We eat dinner. I can see the road, the side road from where I'm sitting. Every car that passes, not purple, not purple. They're all trucks. Like, not a purple car. I'm getting frustrated. At this point, I think it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. At this point, I'm just about to get up to clear the table, and I hear this voice say to me, "Get the fuck up." And I'm like, "Pardon?" "Get the fuck up." So I stand up real quick, and I stand up and I look because I hear a car going by. And there's this Scion, this box, it looks like a Kleenex box car, pulling a Sea-Doo, stopped at the stop sign right beside our house. And I'm like, it's not purple. It's maroon. It's like a deep maroon purpley color. It's not purple. Frustrated as hell. I get up, I go into the house, I grab my phone, put the dishes down, grab my phone. I Google, what color does the square Scion car come in? That's what I Googled. Okay. First option, purple. I'm like, but it's not really purple. It's more maroon. Google it. You tell me. I think it's maroony purple, but their color option, if you were to pick that color, the option's name is purple. Okay. So I pull up the image on my phone. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna go ask the boys. I'm gonna go ask Justin and Jacob outside. So I'm holding my phone. I haven't shown anybody. I walk outside. I say to Justin, I'm going to show you this picture of this car. You tell me or say to me what color you think it is. What color do you think this is? Okay. Jacob, who's not paying attention to what I'm saying, blurts out purple. I look at him and I'm like, okay. And Justin hasn't even looked at the phone yet. I show him the phone and he's like, yeah, that's like a purple color. It's a purple. Why? So I look at Jacob and I say, Jacob, why did you say purple? And he's like, well, you told me to guess a color. And I said, no, I didn't tell you to guess color. I was showing Dad the picture of the car and I wanted to know what color he thought the car was. And he's like, well, what color is the car? And I show him and he's like, that's purple. So at this point, I am like on the verge of tears. Here it is. The entire day I've been stressed the fuck out, thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to see my purple car. Not only do I see this car, but I second guess it, right? But then out of nowhere, my son yells purple when he thinks I'm asking him to guess a color. My husband I just showed him the picture. There was no writing on it. He picks purple. I'm like, so I sat down and was like, okay, Spirit, thank you. I'm not going to fucking worry about this anymore. And I just felt this huge relief come off my chest. And I told the boys the story about what the purple car was, why it was so important to me. And I just remember from that point on, finally having faith. It's all going to work out. I don't know why I didn't ask for a sign sooner. I don't know why I didn't, just relax and believe sooner, but this was my process. So here we are. It's September? I can't even remember. It all went by so fast. Anyways, the next day, these people are driving around the yard, around the house. My husband and I both see the truck, both see the minute, and we say to each other, those are the people. I have a feeling those are the people. Those people book a request to see the house. They put in an offer, and it all works out. The house is closed before we need to be down here, and everything works out. And I really believe that it's because we both took that fine and let it go. We finally stopped being stressed out about whether or not it would go. We made our choice. We decided we wanted this. This is what we were doing. It was happening. We made our choice, right? We let go of the chaos in our minds about, is it happening? Is it not? Who's going to buy it? Who's not going to buy it? How are we going to get the seller here? How are we not going to get, how are we going to get out of this? We let go of it all. And I think that is a really important step, right? So we planted the seed. Episode 1, we planted the seed. We decided on what our big goal was. Episode 2 here, we did the deep work. We did the shadow work. We actually allowed ourselves to have those triggers, to work through them. And then the biggest part of this was finding the happiness, the gratitude, and the appreciation for the place we were in that moment, right? Having that, sitting into that, and then letting go of everything else, right? Doing the work that needs to be done. Trust me, we were still doing the work. We were creating the savings accounts when that trigger came up. We were doing the work to step into the fear of, what is this new country actually going to be. So we investigated, we started looking for rentals, we created a vision of what everything was going to look like. Okay, we did the back end work, the underground work, to continue to show the universe we are serious about this, right? We got all the paperwork in order for my husband to get his permit, whatever it's, I can't remember, visa, permit, whatever it is. We were doing all of that stuff, right? We didn't just sit back and be like, oh, bring it to us. That's not how manifestation works. You have to do the work. You have to show up for it. You have to show up for yourself. Okay. So next week, I'm going to share with you how I literally wrote out my vision for what our rental house was going to look like down here, and how it's almost identical, and how I just kept sticking to that vision. And here we are. Okay. And then I'm also going to talk to you guys about what happens once you get to that big goal. Okay. Because there's a lot of people that I've talked to, and a lot of things that I've seen about this, is that you get to that big goal and then you're like, now what? Because you've spent your entire time trying to get there, right? Like you're like working so hard to get there, but now what? What do you do now? You're here. What the fuck? Now it's boring? It's easy? No. Well, yes, but no. So we're going to talk about all that stuff next week. Okay? So if this has resonated with you, please leave a comment. Please share. Let me know, what big goal are you working towards? What are you trying to manifest in your life? What are you shifting in your life to make yourself happier, healthier, maybe more financially stable? What's going on in you, in your life? I'd love to hear. If this resonated with you, please share. Please put this out there on the social media. Tag me. I would love to shout you out that you're listening with me and being present with these podcasts. Thanks, guys. We will be talking at you next week.